shrink said it would help.
Mom, what took so long?
Honey, this rice
I'm bored.
takes a long time to cook.
How about we make some flan? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who do not know what flan is basically a custard. It's Spanish. This is 3 eggs, 1 can of sweet condensed milk, 1 can of evaporated milk, and we need some pure vanilla extract. Alright? You can use whatever kind of sugar. I so happen to have brown sugar, and that's what I'm going to use. You'll see why later. It's got to be 350 degrees. You better set that up right before you start cooking. Now, these are the instruments that you're going to need. Stop asking so many questions. You're eventually going to see why we're going to use them. Watch. So we're going to start cracking our eggs, right? Alright. Man, my can opener sucks. Alright. So now that we got our cans opened up, we're just going to slap it in here, like so. Condensed milk is pretty thick, so sometimes I like to whip out the spatula, you know what I mean? Alright, now we're going to get a tablespoon of the vanilla extract. Now it's all in the mix. It's time to mix. Alright, as you can see, this mixed very well, extremely well, almost too well. To the point that you might even think that a machine did it. Anyway, that's besides the point. The point is, now we're going to start working on the sugar. Alright, we're going to start melting our brown sugar. Now, depending on the measurements, I don't know what I'm going to do. But if you want more, you can add more. If you want less, you don't have to do so much. We're going to crank up that heat nice and high. Why? Because that's what it takes to melt sugar. So as you can see, sugar's starting to melt. It's caramelizing, alright? Because that's just what it does. Once it starts turning into like a liquid form, that's when we're going to start pouring it in, and then we pour the mix on top of that. It's chemistry, you know what I mean? It's just watch, stop complaining. Remember this guy? I'm going to fill it up about halfway, maybe less than halfway, full of water. Sometimes they say it depends if it's hot water or cold water. I like to stay lukewarm. Once it starts baking, well, that's when the temperature starts to rise. So we'll be alright. Alright, so now we're going to be pouring this inside every individual one. It's most likely a guarantee that this flan is going to be way better than your mom's or your grandma's could ever make in their lives. Most likely, it's probably way better than a Spanish bakery that you ever went to. Trust me. I got the facts to prove it. Let's pour this in hot water. Why? Trust and believe. If you let it sit there like a Nimrod, that's going to get so hard, you'll be there all night trying to scrape it out. What's going to happen is, when it starts cooking, the vapors are going to cook it. I'm going to have aluminum foil. Alright? So we're going to start pouring right on top of the sugar. Alright. Alright, so what you want to do, right? You want to cover this baby with aluminum. Aluminum. You know what? Leave me alone, alright? I know how to cook. What you don't want to do is have this all tight, you know what I mean? Have it tight on the edges, but let it breathe a little bit. What we're also gonna do is, get out of my way, we gotta get some toothpicks. Alright? You gotta poke some holes in it. Because, even though it's cooking, you gotta breathe. You gotta make sure you find the hole so you can poke a hole through it, you know what I mean? So now we're about to pop this baby in the oven. Very slowly and carefully, alright? Put it in there, close it up. About 45 to an hour. let it cook. Alright? We'll be back. Alright, so it's about that time. Let's go check it out. See how it's doing. It's hot. Oh, yeah. Oh. What do we got here? They got poofy. Woo! Let it cool down a little bit. Then, once it gets cold, we'll be able to take it out. Okay, so after you take it out the oven, you put it in the fridge, let it cool off. You can either get a butter knife, or if you got a nice handy spatula like I do, you're just gonna be going around the edges, so you can loosen it up. Make sure you have something like a sheet pan like this, because what you're gonna want to do is this number. Voila, there goes your flan. You guys just learned how to make a custard, individuals. Tastes great. Make it right, and enjoy. Thank you for cooking with Chef Socks. We'll tune in next time.